Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jonathan, and welcome back to Money Talks, where we want to offer you financial information and meet you where you are financially so that you can stick to your budget, manage to pay off your debt on your path to building wealth. Today, guys, I want to talk to you about that 401k, the questions you should answer, and how you can really get a hold on this wealth building tool. If this is your first time joining me here on the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So guys, it's so exciting when you start your wealth building journey. You start to look at all the different ways you can do it. The most common way and the most what's found to be the most practical and most successful way is through your employer's retirement plan. It's through all the millionaire studies this has been the primary source of where they've been able to start to build that first layer of wealth, that 1 to 2 million. So let's spend a little time talking about what you should do. Now, 401k usually gets breezed over in your company's onboarding practice when they're explaining their benefits, but it's so important that you understand what questions you can ask and also get a clear understanding of this actual tool. So your 401k, the first thing you want to do is find out if your company has a match. If the company has a match, how much is that match? Is it 3%? Is it 4%? Industry standard hovers around 3.5%, but with the popularity of the 401k, a lot of companies are doing 6%, and even some contribute more as a one-time option on top of the regular matching. The second thing is how long does it take before you're fully what's called vested? Meaning, if you left the company, how much of that money can you actually take? Typically, if you're not what's called vested, meaning fully vested, meaning the portion that the job contributes, and you leave early, you're only going to leave with the amount that you contributed. Not a deal breaker, but it's still something you should be aware of, because if someone's selling you in your conversations about salary and things of that nature, how you should see value in the company, but their vesting schedule says, oh, well, you have to be with us 2-3 years before we actually, if you leave within 2 years, you're not going to get the money that, even though you did the match. That's a different conversation you might want to consider when you think about your salary, because you may be counting that in your total compensation. Just something to be aware of. The next thing you want to think about is what types of 401k do they offer? So are they offering you the Roth 401k option, or is it just traditional? Is it an annuitized 401k? What is the options that you have on this type of account? The next thing you want to think about, if you do have a Roth 401k option or a traditional 401k option, is traditional is pre-tax, Roth grows tax-free. It's oftentimes more advantageous that you contribute to the Roth side of the house so that you can get the tax-free money. Understanding that everyone can budget is different, and sometimes you're just not in a place where financially you could take that hit. We'll say, do the math of what's the difference in your check of paying after tax versus paying pre-tax. Still, Roth likely is going to be your best option. Now, if your employer is contributing to your 401k, their money is always going to go into traditional just by law. That is the standard. So that is something you need to be aware of. The next thing with the Roth 401k, or just a 401k in general, understand that your total that you're allowed to contribute is 19, as of 2021, is 19,500. Why is this important? Because if you contribute, a lot of people like to set it and forget it with their 401k. But if you over contribute in a tax year or a full calendar year to your 401k or IRAs or what have you, you incur a 6% penalty tax. So that is something that you want to be aware of. And if you're seeing you're nearing to that number, you want to make sure you notify your employer to stop your contributions. That's, again, we don't want to lose money. We want to use this to gain our wealth. The next thing, after you've figured out this account, you figured out the employer benefit, and you figured out, have a good handle on what's the value of this actual benefit, now you want to look at your actual options in your 401k. Now, oftentimes, many people start to go in what's called a target date retirement fund, and many people oftentimes they're just signing they're signing up, they're setting and forget it. Target date retirement funds can be good because you don't really have to think about it. You answer a few questions, it automatically selects mutual funds and bonds and stocks and all types of things and groups them together with a target date of your retirement, typically when you turn age 65, 66, something like that nature, whatever date you kind of select. And each year you get older, it becomes a little bit more conservative. And by conservative, it means that more bonds, which is loans that you give out to the government. Bonds typically have a return rate about 3-4%, very lower, but it slows down your growth from the stocks. Why is this good? Well, number one, if you're investing your money, you should have a good pulse. You don't have to rebalance. You don't have to rebalancing means bring your percentages back in line periodically as the growth kind of fluctuates throughout the year. But one thing that this target date retirement fund does do is it kind of slows down your growth with each passing year, or your opportunity for growth with each passing year, because it's selling off your stocks. So that is something you need to be aware of. But the more important thing is you need to be able to identify those things and be able to even explain it to yourself what your money is invested in. So are you invested in large cap? Are you invested in mid cap? Are you invested in international? Are you invested in bonds or securities or whatever the case may be? You need to explain to yourself, and you need to be able to identify and feel comfortable with what your money is going into. That is your responsibility in this. And obviously it's not your responsibility to go at this alone. And so that's the joy of really reaching out to that 401k program and getting your questions answered. And I know I talk about the total stock market index fund and the S&P 500 index fund on my channel a lot. And if you invest in those things, or if you're investing outside, one thing I would say is take what you're investing outside and just use that as their blueprint when you speak with your 401k advisor, administrator, whoever's over that plan. Because oftentimes the things that are in a 401k plan and the options that are in a 401k plan don't necessarily mirror specifically where you can say, oh, okay, I got S&P 500 here, S&P 500 here. Sometimes you can see that, but oftentimes you have to explain to them like, hey, this is what I invest in right now. What do you have selection-wise that mirrors that same product? So I hope this, guys, helps you enjoy and understand your 401k and your responsibility, but it's important that you know what your money is going into, how it works, and start to become comfortable with this so that you have more confidence to put and increase that 401k. Remember, when you start your 401k, try to do that Roth side first. Next goal is to try to max it out. And then after that, max out the 401k, max out your Roth IRAs, and then continue to build wealth in your brokerage. That's how that looks. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And I can't wait to see you guys